Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to look at the Book of Ezra. In Lincoln, we have this big arcade and entertainment business at our mall. It provides a lot of fun on those cold, rainy nights when you're trapped indoors. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I told my boys, let's go to round one. Let's get out of this house. Let's have some fun. Well, my two younger sons jumped up and cheered. But my oldest son said, nah, I'm good. I think I'll just stay home. Sometimes, friend, not everyone wants to go to the promised land. In fact, few people want to go. My two sons were the remnant who wanted out. They wanted to go to the promised land. Well, the book of Ezra shares a similar story of a remnant who would return back to the promised land. The book of Ezra is one book with Nehemiah in the Hebrew Bible. In our Bible, it is separated, and it bears the name of its author, Ezra. Ezra was penned around 450 BC, and it spans roughly 33 years, but it has a gap of roughly 60 years between its two parts. Those two parts is chapters 1 through 6. That focuses on the exodus of some Babylonian captives by Zerubbabel. They returned to Jerusalem to rebuild the temple. And then in chapters 7 through 10, we find another exodus. And again, it is a remnant. This exodus is led by Ezra. The rebuilding isn't a temple, but a reformation of the people. In Ezra, you will meet Cyrus, Zerubbabel, Haggai, Zechariah, Darius, Artaxerxes I, and Ezra. Now, can we find Christ in the book? Well, not directly. We will see important connections and orchestration for the coming of the Christ. For example, we see God's continued fulfillment of His promise to keep David's descendants alive. Did you know that Zerubbabel is part of the Messianic line? It's true. And there is an important lesson of forgiveness in the book of Ezra. This lesson, it typifies Christ's work of restoration, forgiveness, and life repair. So what is the main thing in Ezra? It's that God is in the business of life repair. And that life repair begins with heart reformation. The Israelites were notorious for the habit of forgetting God. And when they did, they ended up in trouble. But God is in the business of forgiveness and restoration. In just 10 short chapters of Ezra, we can see that God can bring restoration to anyone who has wandered far away from Him. Ezra chapter 7 verse 10 says, "Now Ezra had determined in his heart to study the law of the Lord, obey it, and teach its statutes and ordinances in Israel." You see, friend, God is in the business of life repair. But it begins when we turn our hearts back to God. God transforms us through a relationship with Him and in engaging His Word. So here's my challenge for you today. Do you need life repair? I know I do. If you do, then turn back to God. Stop wandering in the desert. Get out of the captivity of your independence and come back to God. Cling to His Word. Engage in it daily, and then allow Him to transform you one step at a time, one day at a time. When we turn back to God, we will win the day.